Okay, so I'm recording. All right, so I wanted to come on here and I wanted to create like a really quick training on volume because for me as a coach, I know that I didn't pay attention to what it was for like a really long time. And I also know that it's something that confuses people a lot about this business. Like you understand selling a challenge pack and you understand like you make a commission off of it. But then there's like PV and TV and all these numbers and people are like, I don't really know what that means. Like just tell me what to do. Or they really want to know what it means, but they get confused by it. So I'm going to kind of break it down. Also, we've been talking a lot just in the roundtable, which is a 5-star and above group, about how we have so many amazing like products and things within our business, but so many of us just focus on like get somebody started with a challenge pack, good, done, and like move on. And really, we should be helping them find all of the things that are going to not only help them be successful in their business and create volume in their business, but also like to use for their own health and wellness benefits. So it's not just about challenge pack sales. And I'm going to kind of go into that and talk about what it really is and like why we shouldn't just be like, okay, challenge pack done. So a couple other things that I want to make sure I put notes for myself here. All right, so we'll scroll down. So there's 2 different types of volume. There's something called personal volume, and then there's something that's called team volume. And you'll notice that absolutely every single product and program that we sell has PV and TV attached to it. And what personal volume stands for is it's the volume that you create when you purchase something yourself or when you sell something to a customer. And so when you do that, you get a certain volume, and that's called PV. Now, PV is important for a few different reasons. Personal, you'll hear them referred to as PV or TV. So PV is important because it's what helps you stay active as a coach. You have to have at least 50 points in volume in order to be an active coach. An active coach means that you get paid and stuff when you sell things to other people and that sort of thing. So you have to have at least 50 points of volume. You can stay active by selling things to customers. So if you sign up a coach and you're not active, you don't have at least 50 PV, you will make that initial bonus from signing that coach, but it won't be paid out to you until you go active. However, if you were to sign a customer, that volume, that PV right there goes to you and will help you go active immediately. So any coach, whether it's you or a spouse account, and I'll talk about that in a second, has to have at least 50 PV in order to be an active coach. The other thing to keep note of, though, too, is that if you're searching to make Success Club, you have to have at least 90 PV on HD, which means that you have to have a home direct order of 90 PV or more, which basically is your Shakeology. And everybody should be drinking Shakeology anyways, especially if you're a coach. You want to make sure that you know everything that you can about it and that you're helping other people realize what they can do with it. And that goes down to your own experience, right? And so like, I know for me, I was never into shakes before coaching. I thought that protein shakes were disgusting. I know that Ryan had been into bodybuilding before and things like that. So like he had brought home like all these different shakes that I would try and I would be like, that tastes like powdery gunk. It's disgusting. And when I first started drinking Shakeology, even I wasn't like 100% in love at first. But I continued drinking it. And what's so crazy is experts, and we've had Isabel Deichler on our call before too. She's the co-creator of Shakeology. And she's talked about that. When you start feeding yourself healthy things and nutrients, your taste buds start to change and you start to crave those things that are actually healthier for you and better for you. And so through time, like I actually not only have started to love the flavor of Shakeology, but I literally crave it. Like I can tell if I haven't had it, my body needs it and wants it. And I also can tell that if I'm not eating in a high enough calorie bracket, or if I've been eating like crap, my body will crave it too, because it's wanting those nutrients that it's missing. And so it's really important to be on it and be that dream coach that everybody wants and be an active participant so that you can actually, Katie said the same. I can't see you, Katie. Oh, there you are. Now I see you. so that you can actually speak to it. And so for Ryan, I know it helped a lot of his gut issues. It helped clear up both of like skin issues for us. I was breaking out with acne on my face. I used to have really bad eczema on my arms. Ryan had eczema on his feet. So it's helped us with those sorts of things. It helps my nails and my hair grow faster. It helps with my energy levels. Like I actually feel depressed if I'm not drinking Shakeology. And the few times that I've missed it, whether while traveling and didn't bring enough or whatever, I've actually ended up getting sick. It's kept me healthy when I've been around my nephews who have colds and all that stuff. And it's just been a game changer for me. And so now when I sell it or when I talk to somebody about it, I have that in the background and I can talk to them really about it. Also, there was a call that was done. It was a Danielle Natoni call and it was Dr. Lauren Fitzgerald. I'll share the link to it when I post this in the team page because she's a doctor who goes through and talks all about Shakeology and like what that does for you. And just the importance of like kind of knowing that background and stuff, then you'll realize why you would never not want to be on that 90 HD of Shakeology anyways. So that's a whole nother story. Also, quickly, personal volume too. So if you're an Emerald coach, you need at least 50. Coach to Emerald coach, you need 50 volume points. If you are a Diamond coach, it's important to know that you need at least 100 points in personal volume to maintain your rank. And if you're a Star Diamond coach, you need at least 200 volume points to maintain your rank. The good news is by selling things to customers or by achieving Success Club, you actually get customer leads, and both of those things help you to accumulate that personal volume also to keep yourself active. Not to mention all the other things I'm about to show you in a second that can also help you with your volume. And then team volume, and this is the big one, you guys, that like even I was confused about, and I was like, no, Ryan, we cycle on personal volume, and he was like, no, don't. And so like it was even confusing for me, like years into the business, successful coach ranking up and all that stuff to like what the major difference is between team volume and personal volume. So TV is anything that you like that your team sells. So when you sign a coach and they sell something to a customer or they purchase something themselves, that creates team volume in your business. So it's important to note that like when you sell something to a customer retail from like your first business center, you're not going to get TV on that. You're just going to get the personal volume and you're going to get the commission that's created from that personal volume. However, your coach would actually receive team volume on that and cycle. So I hope that makes sense. Then, of course, with the team volume as well, it's what we cycle on. So I know I've used the word cycle a few times. So for people who are brand new, there's something that's called team cycle bonus. That means every time you have 300 points of TV in your business, you cycle and you earn money. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second too. But also, you can see why it would be really important to sign up a spouse account or to get your second business center so that you can start purchasing your things through there so that you're actually creating team volume that you cycle on. So then you're getting paid on your own stuff that you're purchasing. So that's another reason to sign your spouse, you guys. There is a call in the team page. I think Brooke Liphoff did it. So you can go ahead and you can search the search bar in the team page. I think if you just type in spouse, it'll pop up, but it'll talk to you about why you want to sign that controlled account. So you can have a controlled account through Beachbody. You can actually have 2 controlled accounts. It could be your spouse. It can be a child of yours that's over the age of 18, or it could be a parent. And when I say spouse, I really mean significant other that lives with you, because it doesn't matter if it's just like a life partner or whatever. If they live with you and they're your significant other, you can sign them up and use the same credit card. Now, if you were to sign like your sister, your brother, like your aunt or something like that, they need to be in control of their own account and have their own card on that. But you can control 2 accounts. And that's one of the biggest reasons you want to do that, is so that you can start earning money through your own team volume on your own accounts. So I want to make sure that I hit everything there. I want to make sure that that makes sense. Okay, cool. So we'll go down. Slide number 3. So why is personal volume so important? So personal volume, you'll notice, is talked about a ton. It's recognized in recognition slides. It's also something where if you're shooting for elite, you're kind of looking at making 500 volume points to earn points towards elite. And that's a different call. We can talk about elite at some other point, but you can see that it's always mentioned there. And the reason is because your personal volume is what is attached to your commissions. the personal volume points determine like what a commission actually is. So you can look down here and we can look at some of these different items and we can say, okay, when you look at like this challenge pack, for instance, it's creating 135 PV points in your business. Shakeology is creating 90. Power boosts, digestive health, all of these boosts for shit. You know what I think is really funny is I just noticed is that like all of my crap is up here. So like you can see my Shakeology containers and all my, not my crap, my really amazing stuff. So you can see up there that I improved the product. I am my dream coach. I'm using this stuff, right? So that is creating volume in my business. If somebody is a customer of mine and they're purchasing any of these things, Shakeology, the boost, 3-day refresh, a challenge pack, they're creating personal volume points, which means that I'm getting paid commissions on that. You'll notice in the team page, we've had like the top PV producer or the top producer of the month or the week. And that is typically based on the person who has the most PV points. And what that means is that's basically the person who's brought in the most commissions. And that's kind of all. So you, like I said, you can earn those from doing like SE10 and getting customer leads. You can earn that by selling things to customers and anything like that, and anything that you buy yourself. And so then you get paid on those commissions. It creates personal volume in your business. So you can see all of these different things have different like PV numbers attached to them. And so what I wanted to talk about here is that so many times we get so attached to selling like a challenge pack and that's it. And if somebody says no to the challenge pack in the moment, we're like, okay, we'll postpone them to the next month, or we'll follow up with them in a month from now, or a month from now, or a month from now, not realizing that maybe sometimes the challenge pack is just a little too much for somebody to get started with off the, you know, the whatever, right off the top. But what if we could help them get started with, you know, Shakeology, and that's just 90 PV? Or what if we help them get started with, say, Beachbody On Demand? All of these things still have PV attached to them. You're still going to make a commission off of them. And so are your coaches, and it's going to help keep you active and all of that stuff. So that's why we really want to make sure that we pay attention to that and we don't just stop, because you can see all this PV here. That's all equivalents to cash, you guys. So like, you don't want to just throw the baby out with the bathwater and be like, oh, you don't want a challenge pack, I'm going to like whatever. Or, oh, you have your own gym routine, so never mind. Instead, it's like, oh, you have your own gym routine? Like, let's get you going with like a pre-workout that you can drink on your way to the gym. Or, oh, you're a busy lady with like a bunch of kids at home and you're traveling a lot and all that stuff. Here's some bars that you can throw in your bag and take with you instead of going and getting a Kind bar that has, you know, half the amount of protein and double the amount of sugar in it. And this one's going to come to your door rather than you having to go to the store to get it, you know. Or if it's somebody like, I have a friend who has been training on her own at the gym, and I sent her a sample of Recover and Energize, and now she's addicted to both and she drinks them all the time, even though she's doing her own thing. But that's still creating personal volume for me that I get paid on every single month. And so that's why you don't want to just be like, oh, you don't want a challenge pack? Forget about it. There's so many other things that you can help them get started with. Okay, so what do we earn from these products? So what I want to talk about here is that, sorry, let me just distract what I wanted to talk about here is that you can see that these commissions that are attached to this. So if you sell a challenge pack, you're making about $50. If you're selling any of these boosts, like $12, $11, $8, if you're selling a Shakeology, $32. So yes, it's helping your personal volume, but what it's doing too is like, imagine if somebody stayed on Shakeology, not just the first month, but the second month and the third month, you know, and continued to do that. And then you have 5 more customers that continue to do that. Then you're creating residual income where you're making this income every single month. And like, so if you didn't get somebody on with a challenge pack, but maybe they told you that they hate vegetables and you get them on Power Greens, $8.74 might not sound like that big of a commission write-off when you first sell it, but over time, if they're continuing to buy that every single month, you know, over the course of a year, that's like $90 that you just earned off of that person, and you're helping them. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about that. Anything else that I wanted to talk about? So like 3-day refresh, for instance, is something that like, if you have like a holiday coming up, or if you have an event coming up, that this is something that can really help you. If you have somebody who's about to jump into a program and they, have been eating like crap for months and months and months, and they want to like jump into this program, but they're a little bit worried about starting this nutrition plan and being able to stay on it, we'll have them do a 3-day refresh first, kill those cravings and stuff. And after they do 3 days of like resetting their gut and their energy, and they jump in to do, the regular program, they're going to think that the nutrition plan for like foundational fix is like the easiest thing they've ever tried, because it's so lifestyle. I have a splinter in my pants. Okay. So then we want to make sure too that also like we're adding these things. So say somebody does want to get started with a challenge pack, but they're going to get like the combo or whatever. And maybe we say, hey, you know what? You told me in this conversation that you hate vegetables. Like, why don't you grab the Power Greens too to add to your pack? Or why don't you grab the 3-day refresh if you've been, binge eating carbs for weeks, and get that as part of your pack too, so it can help start you off on the right foot. And that's not all, you guys. You can come down here, you can see some of like the most popular things that we have. If you're just getting ready with like the base kit, like if you're a coach and you purchase, every coach should have purchased Ultimate Portion Fix, so that you can go ahead and you can learn and know like what we're talking about and what we're selling and how we're helping people. So you should have experience with all of these things. But if you come in here, you can see that like by helping people out, all this stuff has personal volume points, commission, which equals commission attached to it. And that's how you're going to get paid out on your retail sales, and how you're going to stay active, but also you can help in more ways than just a challenge pack. There's so many other things that you can add to that. Also, I know that so many people are like, oh, I don't want to, sign just like BOD, but with Beachbody On Demand, you're going to make like a $40 commission off of that just by helping somebody get set up with that. Like, who doesn't want to make like $40 just by signing somebody up with Beachbody On Demand? Then you get them into your group. Then maybe you go and you buy some boxes of samples. So like, let's say you grab a sample pack of the sticks of, Energize, and then you send 2 sticks and like a stick, a packet of Hydrate to that person, and they try it and they fall in love with it. Well, then they go and purchase it, and then they're on Beachbody On Demand and they're using other products. It's like a nice way to get them in the door and help somebody out who doesn't have enough money to get started right away. Now, that's not saying I want you to just like stop selling challenge packs. I think challenge packs are the bread and butter of our company, and they're the thing that we all should be helping people get started with, because it is the full solution of nutrition and fitness at the same time, and it's bundled for a reason. You're going to make a bigger commission off of it, even though you'll make lower TV or PV. You'll make a bigger commission off that at first and start them on their journey and help them get their results and keep them on that the next few months or the next years of their life to help them get better results. But if they can't do that, it's not just like, oh, I can't help you. Instead, there's all of these other options and all of these other things in our catalog that we can help people get started with on their journey to health and fitness and create volume and commissions in your business. So why team volume is so important. You guys, you will see that we actually started promoting team volume in our last, hold on, I want to just make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to say on that slide. Yeah. Okay. So, in our recent recognition slide, you'll notice that we started recognizing TV, and there's a reason for that. You'll also notice that weekly we recognize people who are making Team Cycle Bonus, because Team Cycle Bonus is really where you're going to start creating a 6 to 7 figure income in your business. And like, who doesn't want to do that? Like, I have a 6-figure, but I want a 7-figure income in this business. And so, this is where that's at. This is where it becomes residual income. This is where you have a full team that's working for you, and it's not just based off of those retail sales that you're making. Even though retail sales are great and you can keep them going forever and they're going to give you great commissions and you can help them get on new products and stuff, team volume is helping your income based on your team's efforts, which is like insane. So how do we take part in team volume? Number 1 is you have to be an Emerald coach. Basically, if you're not an Emerald coach right now, your first job is to go sign up your spouse, and then to sign up like your bestie or your mom or your dad or your, child that's over the age of 18. You can go Emerald overnight. Literally, you can start having like your Beachbody performance line stuff go through your spouse account, have your Shakeology go through your account. You're not spending any extra money. It's stuff that you're using for your business, and that way you're keeping them active. You can have any customer items that you have go through your spouse account, so that your spouse you get the team volume too. So you're keeping your spouse active without having to even purchase something under them if you don't want to. And you're getting paid that team volume and that commission because it goes into your joint bank account. So signing your spouse is a no-brainer, you guys. It's the very, very first step that you should do, because you also want that person very high up in your business center so that they are maximizing all of that volume that's going through that team leg or through that leg, so that you can, benefit from that and build on that and help yourself cycle more and earn more income. So that's a no-brainer. Going Emerald in this business, so like when you sign up as a coach, it's basically like you just stepped into your car and you're sitting in the seat, right? Emerald means you actually stuck the keys in the ignition and you turned the car on. When you start moving towards like past that, like you're pressing the gas pedal, that means like you're moving towards Diamond, you're moving towards creating this volume, you're moving towards like adding people into your business and helping them, but you have to go Emerald in order to receive a team cycle bonus at all. So I wanted to talk about that. And before I move on, I'm going to just jump over here and I'm going to show you guys, everybody has a left leg and a right leg. When you come into your coach online office, and I'm just in my second business center over here, but if you come over into your office, you can come to something. Can you see my business center now that I moved pages? Just shake your head yes if you can. Okay, cool. So just come into monitor my business, and then you can go to graphical genealogy. And when you do that, you're going to see, oh, it's going to sign me out. Sorry, I'm going to have to sign back in. Timed out. That's fine. I left it idle for too long. All right, so when you go into your coach office, go to monitor my business, go into graphical genealogy. And when you're in here, what you're going to see is I have a left leg and I have a right leg. Now you can see there's some cancellations at the top of these, but let's just scroll down for a second. There's quite a bit. I'm actually going to go like this and hit like bottom right, for instance. So Linda, there you are. When I hit bottom right, that's what you can see. And you can see there's 49 levels hidden. So there's 49 people above Linda. And if I keep clicking this, which I'm going to do just for a second because I want to get to one that, just that I'm not a personally sponsored coach of. Okay, so there we go. So if I come in here and I look, you'll notice that the ones that say PS over it, those are my personally sponsored coaches. The ones that do not have a PS over them means that somebody else in my business signed them. So it means that, for instance, like let's say Janaya over here, like she has not signed anybody yet in her business. She just signed up the other day. And Linda just signed up the other day too. But if you notice, now Janaya has Linda underneath her. Well, she's not Janaya's personally sponsored coach, but what she is going to do is create team volume for her, because regardless of whether it's your personally sponsored coach or not, that team volume that they create helps everyone. So everybody technically will have, I say should because I was put on an inside leg and building whatever. There's dead spots basically, but everybody, if you're sponsored by somebody on this team, should be put in a leg where you have a team leg, which is most likely going to be your power leg because that's where you have the team building for you. And then they'll have their inside leg where they are building for themselves. So I'm just going to come up a little bit more so I can just show you this. So we can see here that, okay, so we have Shannon, we have Connor, we have Fiona, we have Paula, we have James. You can see here that none of these people have a PS above them, which means they're not my personally sponsored coaches. But every single time they purchase something or sell something to a customer or sign another coach underneath us, that creates volume that I get paid on. It doesn't mean that I necessarily put them there. And so let's go back up to the top just for a second. So when we come to the top, you'll notice, and of course the couple ones at the top are canceled, but if you look at the top, you have two different legs. You have your left leg and your right leg. Everybody has this, and everybody is responsible for building one of their legs and then has a team leg. Every time you have 300 points in your business, you cycle. So that means that every time you have 200 points in one leg and 100 points in the other leg, you make a cycle bonus. So I'm just going to go back over here to this slide real quick. So you can see with like all of these products that we have, how it could spike volume for people and how you can get paid on that fairly quickly, and how that would become a 6 or 7 figure income for you fairly quickly. And I always tell people that like 2-star is where this business is at. Like you should be shooting for 2-star because it's right around 2-star. Typically people start creating enough volume in their business that they're earning about $1,000 a week in cycle bonus. So if you're earning about $1,000 a week in cycle bonus, team cycle bonus, that means not your commissions or any of that stuff, none of your retail sales, none of your matching bonuses, and that's all a different conversation, not your rank bonuses, but just team cycle bonus. It means you're making $52,000 a year based on your team's effort. And so that is something that everybody should be shooting for, because then if you're looking to leave your job or you're looking to do more with this, then that's a great time to be like, okay, I'm earning enough income that I could go for this full time and like focus here and do this and create even bigger income for myself. The other beautiful part about this business is if you don't want to go full time and you still just want to do this on the side, you can, because this isn't a business where as you grow bigger, you need to put even more and more time in it. You're still doing the same things. You can like, you're still talking to the same amount of people. You're still helping the same amount of people. Once somebody's trained up and going, they're just going, right? So like it creates a system where all of a sudden this business and this volume just starts like getting away from you. Your volume starts growing on its own. And all of a sudden you've got all this income coming in. Does it take work? Yes. Does it take training some people? Yes. Does it take talking to people and signing people up? Yes. But like I said, if you can talk about Shakeology and you can talk about the benefits of like what that's doing for you, you guys, if you're drinking all this stuff, if you're using these products, if you're working out, if you're doing that, what do you think is going to happen? The people who are watching you are going to start doing that too. Your team is going to start doing that too. The people who follow you on Instagram or Facebook are going to start doing that too. Your challengers in your challenge group, if you're telling them how, you know, you drink focused energy in the morning so that you can focus on, you know, working your business or getting to work on time or whatever it is, or maybe you just have like massive like ADHD and it's helping you, you can talk about that. You can talk about digestive health. Like talk about poop, guys. Like maybe you don't have regular poop. There's so many people out there that don't. Start talking about that. Start using that program. Start that boost. Start talking about it daily on social media about how that's helping you. If you hate vegetables like I do, if you look at our power greens, it's literally just greens. It's like kale and spinach, etc. Stuff that I don't want to eat, but I can throw into my shake and hide and have everything that I need. Hi, Brandon. And then, the 3-day refresh, I already talked about that and what that can do for you, but you guys will see here that this is the team volume that is equated with all of these things. And so you can see how you can rack up those 100 points, those 200 points, those 300 points really quickly in your business if you are your dream coach using these and showing the products, and you're teaching your coaches to do the same thing. If you're working with your challengers and helping them the best way you know how and getting them to use the best stuff for them, and then they become, advocates and they use it, that's how you grow a massive business, and that's how you start creating a ton of volume on your team. So again, same with BOD, it works the same way. TV is attached to everything. So how does this team volume affect your paycheck? So I just talked to you a little bit about team cycle bonus. So let's dig into that a little bit more. I'm going to move this up because I'm sure you probably can't see that. Okay. So no, I'm not going to be able to get over there. That's fine. So if we look at this is example number 1. Let's just say that this person is an emerald. So you can see here by looking at it, which, you can see which leg is the weak leg. Clearly it's the leg that has the least amount of volume in it, right? So we see that their left leg has 487 volume points in it. And we see that their right leg has 64,724 volume points in it. So what that means is that the easiest way to do this is to remember that it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So 200 points in one leg, 100 points in the other leg equals a cycle bonus. So what I like to do is I like to look at the least amount and I just say, okay, divide that by 100, which would mean that we would cycle 4 times here, right? What's to note though is that up here, you can see that there's carryover from the previous week. So any volume that doesn't get cycled through, it doesn't just disappear, it stays in your business center. So actually we would add this 18 down here and it would become 500, right? So you'd cycle 5 times because you definitely have enough over here that it's way over a 2-to-1 ratio. So you're going to cycle the full 5 times. As an Emerald coach, you make $14 per cycle. So what that means is cycling 4 times at $14, you're going to make $56 in cycle bonus that week. Not in your commissions or that sort of thing, but in what your team is doing. And so even if you think, oh my God, that doesn't sound like that's that big of a number, let's multiply it by 4. That's $224 extra dollars for you that month, right? Or let's think about it in terms of what could $56 a week extra do for you? And this is stuff that your team has done, not you. What could that do for you? It could put gas in your car. It could buy a few bottles of wine for you. You could put money in the bank. You could put extra money towards a credit card to pay it down. There's so many different things that you could do with that. And it just can grow from there. But I think what's really important too is to look at these numbers and go, okay, so my team's creating this much volume over here. So you can set goals for yourself now. And you can say, okay, I want to create this much income or this much team volume over here so that I can cycle more. And then you know all of the products in your product catalog, and you know how to help people get started. And you can realize that every single sale matters, every single start of somebody matters, and actually getting these people results will make sure that you actually have retention in your business too, and they stay on them, creating more volume for you. And when you're teaching your coaches to do the same thing, how quickly that can grow. So you can see how that can grow really quickly, and you can actually set goals for yourself to cycle as much as possible. Now let's look at example number 2. So example number 2, we're going to say that this person is a Ruby coach. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This looks a lot like Ryan Crocker's Business Center because Ryan has Team Project Fearless on one leg of him, and the other leg is all his efforts. So because our team blew up and went so quickly, he has a ton of volume over there and a ton of carryover volume over there. So let's look at this and say he is a Ruby coach. And let's say that Ruby coaches cycle at $16. Now, when we look at this, can you guys figure out how many times that would cycle? Throw it in the chat. If you're looking at this and you know how many times we would cycle on this, so just drop it in the chat. $33. Yeah, Katie's right. So 33 times. And one of the easiest ways to do it is either just divide it by 100 or just look at the first few numbers, you guys, and you can kind of figure it out. So 33 times. So if we cycled 33 times, you guys, at $16 a cycle, you're now looking at, let's see here, $528 for the week. Okay, so $528 a week. That's equal to $2,112 a month. That's a $25,000 a year income, and that's just in cycle bonuses. Now, that's not matching, that's not commissions or any of that sort of thing. Also keep in mind that's somebody who has a ton of potential based on that team leg to continue just plugging into that right leg and putting people there and helping grow your volume over there to help yourself cycle more. And then last one, let's look at the diamond example. And let's just say this person, you can look, like I said, the first 3 numbers really is 118 times. That's how many times they're going to cycle. And as a diamond coach, you cycle at $18 a cycle. So if you're cycling 118 times at $18 a cycle, that's $2,124 that you're making for the week in team cycle bonus alone. This is what we call residual income. This is what we call building depth, and we building volume instead of just a house of cards for rank, so that we can step away from our business for a week or two and go on a vacation and come back, and we are still earning just as much money every single week as we were when we left, if not more, because the team is growing, the team is copying what you're doing, the team is creating more volume in their business and focusing on all of those ways that they can increase their volume and build more volume in their business. Now, what else did I want to talk about before I jump off here? I did create, there's a couple images that have been created. that are showing PV for products, TV for products. They're kind of like little cheat sheets, and then a commission for products. I'll go ahead and I will share those as well as that link I talked about for the Shakeology training by that doctor. So you guys can print those out and you can keep them in front of you. It will be a nice, healthy reminder of like, oh, I should show myself drinking my Energized every day before I work out to build that up. So somebody else looks at me and they're like, what are you drinking every single day? Doesn't have to be in a cup that says Shakeology if you're drinking Shakeology. In fact, I would recommend that you don't. Put it in like a glass jar, make it look pretty, throw some almond whipped cream on top of it, do something like that. Talk about what that's doing for you. I'm drinking my veggies right now. Here, this is what it's done for me. Have people start seeing you day in and day out. Be proof the product works and use these things. Talk about how you're on the road and you couldn't find anything to eat, and so you're eating a snack bar, or you're, flying today, so you packed like your beach bars with you. Talk about hydrate. Like sometimes I've seen coaches even talk about how hydrate helps them when they're hungover or when they've drank the night before. They make sure that they drink hydrate before they go to bed so that they can not wake up hungover. Like there's all of those different things. But you guys, if we're promoting this through social media all the time, if we're promoting it to our coaches, if we're teaching them about the product catalogs that we have, if we're sharing with them how Team Volume can help them grow their income in a way that is sustainable and that grows like a very solid business center, and we're promoting that and we're like celebrating that, what you focus on grows. And I just think that this is such a cool way to like look at your business and be like, okay, here's where I can create volume so I can start cycling more. If I'm an Emerald coach, fine. Like maybe you're somebody who's had a harder time like recruiting, building coaches, but you can recruit discount coaches, somebody who wants to be in it just for the discount, and help them get started on their products. And that will put you in Emerald level. And then you can continue to grow those and put them on that left side so that they're actually like creating team volume in your business. There's so many different ways that you can go about this, but I just wanted to like I'm going to stop sharing. I just wanted to come on here and kind of talk a little bit about volume, how that works, the difference between PV and TV, talk a little bit about what's attached to each product. And that's not all. I just used some of like the like most, whatever they're called, most popular ones. But come in here and just show you guys that like you can create a massive business that isn't something that you have to constantly be like selling for. If you're doing your job of just bringing in, 3 to 5, or let's say 3 to 15, right? Let's say you help 3 to 15 people a month and you just work closely with them so that you're creating, people who are advocates of this and people who love the products, and you're getting them results. That's all you really need to be doing, and sharing what you're doing on a daily basis in order to create a massive business. This business is really, really super duper easy when you think about it, but it's also really easy to not do. It's easy to like make excuses, to not show up, to say you don't have time, to not stick to the nutrition, to not like talk about what we have to offer with people. But it's also really easy to do so. And if you do, you can change your entire life and create something that you can literally walk away from and still have money coming in. I think it's funny. Sometimes I get calls from people who are like financial planners and they're like, well, what's your retirement plan? And I'm like, I already have a retirement plan. And I'm like, and also if anything, God forbid, happened to me, all my shit just rolls right up to Ryan. Like, lucky bastard. Like I don't need to worry about having him have $100,000 that he can blow through if I died, because he's going to get paid over $100,000 every single year because of the business that I've created. So it's one of those things that you can pass on to your children. You can pass on to your spouse. It's something that you're creating that's longevity, that is going to help you have the life that you design and that you want. Any questions? How did this call make you feel? Excited or overwhelmed? Like, does it make sense? Are you confused? Good to go? I'm drinking more Energized. All right, both. Ashley, both, but good to go. All right, cool. All right, so I am going to post this in the team page. It'll be something that we can go back to, and you guys are going to notice that over the course of the next few weeks, myself and some of the other leaders on the team are going to be coming on here. We're going to be doing a lot more training about how to really grow income in our businesses. I also have a few people from outside of our team that are going to be coming in here and also talking to us about the things that they recognize, celebrate on their team, and how they're growing volume, income, success club, rank advancements, all of that stuff. Because my goal, and my focus this year from here on out is how can I help my people earn more money? How can I help my people be successful? And like, that's what brings me joy. And I've just realized that over the years, like, I have to start focusing on like what brings me the most joy. And what brings me the most joy is mentoring other people and having them create the lifestyle that they want. Like, because that's why I got started in the first place. And that was like a physical thing at the time. It was like, oh, I feel so good physically. I want other people to feel like this. And then once I had freedom and income, I was like, wait, I feel so good. Now I want people to feel like this. And so that is my major goal. And I realized by helping people get what they want, yes, it helps me too. That's the beauty of this business. That's why it's so awesome. But it's so fulfilling to watch people start changing their lives financially. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section when I post this in the team page, or just come into the team page and ask questions whenever you want to. All the leaders are here to help you whenever you want, especially if you're building your business and you have questions about volume or income or success club or rank advancing or any of that stuff. All right, I'm done.